Underway.
Okay.
Welcome along to another Pixiecast, and I'm in the Principality today, otherwise known as Wales, and I'm talking to the lovely Seren Aldron. Seren, hi, how are you?
Oh, hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
It's very nice. I'm very well, thank you, and it's lovely to see you as well. And I do like that backdrop that you've got there.
Oh, thank you. It does
Very,
look like
very astral. And of course, Seren is Welsh for star as well, isn't it? So it's a very appropriate background that you've got there.
Yes, I hadn't thought of that actually, but yeah, I must have been drawn to it. I wish I could cover the whole screen, but it's my green wall. There we are.
There we go. That's lovely. So whereabouts in Wales are you, Seren?
I'm in Swansea, South Wales, down by the sea, which is in the summer when we have one. It's a beautiful part of the world.
Yeah.
On a nice sunny day, and we've got the Gower, which is an area of outstanding natural beauty on the doorstep, with some of the beaches which are the most photographed. I think Three Cliffs has often come like second in world rankings of beaches and things, and Rossley. So it's a beautiful part of the world.
It is a very beautiful part of the world. And have you always lived there? Is that where you're from?
I am, yeah. Yes, I never really managed to escape, unfortunately. Maybe one day.
But why escape if you like it so much anyway?
Well,
So
that's the thing. I've done a fair bit of travelling, and then you come home and you go for a walk on the Gower, and you're like, oh, it's just as beautiful as any other part of the world.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And you can look down to North Devon as well from there, which is a good thing.
Yes, I never tried swimming it though, not yet.
You can wave to me next time.
Yes. Fab.
As the crow flies, we're not very far apart at all, really. But,
I know. I have seen in the news sometimes of surfers or like stand-up paddleboarders getting lost and ended up in the shipping lane, and then ended up
right. And you can actually pick up Radio Devon from South Wales as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think I have heard that before, actually.
Yeah. So there you go. You can listen to my football commentaries on a Saturday afternoon.
Oh, I will. Learn something about football.
So what do you do for a living then, Seren?
I am a librarian.
Okay.
Which I love because I've always been a big bookophile or bibliophile, I should say.
Yeah.
So that I love doing that, and I do like story times and rhyme times and organise all the kids' events and things. So
wow.
I absolutely love it, and it's great fun. But it has been hard, like this year, obviously.
Of course.
So in March, I was redeployed as a local area coordinator, which is basically very community based, and it's just about supporting people in your community, helping them to live their best lives is the kind of byword of a local area coordinator. But I helped with things like getting prescriptions, organising volunteers, and we've got some community projects underway. Like we've written a local history book about the area, and we've got a local radio station up and running this month. So this is
you were telling me about that. So tell me how that's all going. That's exciting.
I'm really excited. We got some fab people in the community. None of us have any experience of radio whatsoever. So, but we thought, well, sod it, let's go for it anyway. So we got some students from Swansea University, the media department. They're going to come and help us. And then through just pinging out emails, which I love to just send random emails to people I've never met. But you never know what you're going to get back. And I did get one back off a local community radio group up the road. And when we went up to meet them, they've been in the business probably between them for 100 years. So we've got like hospital radio. I think one of them was on Virgin Radio at one point.
Okay.
International listeners. Brilliant. And just so much experience. And they've got all the equipment. So they were like, you come up with content.
Oh, wow.
And we'll do it. So yes.
So what's your role going to be in it then? Do you know yet?
Well, we decided that we're just going to all work as a team and produce things together. So our task now this month, because it's our first go, is we're all going to come up with some content or a program idea and try to develop it.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll get some practice with the podcasting.
Very exciting.
Before I become an interviewer.
Yeah, how exciting! That's brilliant. Yeah, it's great. Community radio is great. Actually, I think you'll have a lot of fun doing that. So yeah, excellent. So so how long have you been a librarian for then, or working in libraries? Is that what you call yourself, a librarian?
Yes. I mean, technically I'm a library assistant, but
Okay.
librarian sounds much better.
It does,
So
yeah.
I'll stick with that.
I think you can do degrees and that in
Yeah, or do you know,
to be a librarian, can't you?
they were doing them funded through work,
Mm.
and each time I applied 3 times, and every time I ended up finding out I was pregnant and not able to do it.
Ah,
And
okay.
then the 4th time I applied, the funding ran out.
Oh
So,
no.
I know, I was a bit gutted about that.
Yeah.
But you never know. You never know. But yeah, it's been there 14 years now I've been doing it.
Okay.
So, yes.
Cool. So, and you obviously enjoy it, and just I can tell just by the way that you talk about it, the passion that you have for it. So.
Oh yeah, it's and you know, in the modern climate in this country and well, the world really, there's so little left for people. There's so little sense of community. There's, you know, where do people go? It's like the library is one of the last places where you can go for free.
Yeah.
And there's, you know, we're not just about borrowing books now. We run so many different classes. We have like people come in to help people with their CVs, job searches, language classes, you know, all the book groups and story times and rhyme times. And it's a safe, it's the last free safe place that you can go, and you can have a conversation with another human being. You know, you can find something that interests you. I think they're incredibly important, and we need to cling on to them.
Absolutely. Yeah. And greeted by a lovely smile like yours.
Yeah. No, we're a good group down there. So we often, in fact, in my branch, we have had complaints from customers that the staff are being too loud.
Too loud.
Yeah. So yeah, we're a noisy bunch for down there.
So we're here to talk about Pixies primarily. So where did it all begin for you then?
Well, for me, I remember very clearly the very first time I heard the Pixies. I was 11 years old. I was over my dad's flat. I had to go and stay on the weekends. And my dad is my music influence from like my earliest memories.
Yeah. Well, 11 is pretty early to.
Yeah. But even like I remember
like
being about 4 years old, and my dad would shut the curtains and turn off the lights and put Berlioz on, you know, like some classical music on really loud, and we'd like run around the room on all the furniture. So I grew up with just a massively varied musical influence. But yeah, so I was 11 years old. I was sitting in the flats. I don't know what I was doing. My dad was sitting in the other corner on his computer. I was probably reading. And I just remember looking at him going, Dad, what's that? It just, you know, like that instantly. And it was Bone Machine off Come on Pilgrim, Surfer Rosa. So and that's all it took, literally the first 30 seconds.
Wow.
And it was my first, and he, you know, did me a copy. I took it home with me that day, played it to all my friends, and from the age of 11 I loved them ever since.
Wow.
Yeah.
Blimey. Gosh, that is an early age to get into them. So was that an album that he was playing then, was it, or was it on the radio?
No, it was the album.
Oh, right, okay. So he already had the album then, obviously.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know how long he'd had it for, but that's the first time I remember him playing it.
That's quite a jump, isn't it, from Berlioz to Pixies?
That's my dad, though. He's fab. I absolutely love his passion for music and all types of music. I'd say my love of music has definitely come from him, and my acceptance of all different types of music, and not just sticking to like this narrow kind of, I like this, therefore I can't like that, you know. I give everything a go. Yeah.
Fab. Excellent. Wow. What a start for you then. So and you've been a fan ever since?
Absolutely. Yeah. But I never ever, because that was, what would that have been, 93, 94. So I think they'd already split up by then, hadn't they?
Yeah.
And obviously I'd never, you know, at that age I didn't think, oh, I'd like to go and see this band one day, because you didn't. Well, I didn't when I was 11, but when I got of an age where I would have liked to have seen them, it was long past, and I just thought, well, that's never going to happen. And then when they reformed in the 2000s, I can't remember what I was thinking then, but I don't remember entertaining this. I never really thought it would be something I'd ever get to do. I don't know why. Distance, money, life. But then I think they played in Cardiff after Head Carrier came out, and it was just I have to go. If it's the last thing in my life I do, I have to go and see this gig.
And was that an indoor?
Yes, in the Motorpoint Arena in Cardiff.
Okay, I know that. I've seen Eels play there actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, a
Yeah, it
long
was
time
nice.
ago, about 20 years ago. But
Yeah. It's
yeah, I saw
probably
Eels play
something.
there. So yeah, it's a decent venue there.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it
yeah.
was
So
amazing.
did your dad have all the albums at that stage then? Do you know, or was it just Come on Pilgrim,
Um,
Surfer Rosa?
oh gosh. Do you know, I can't remember. I remember that was the first album I had,
Yeah.
and it was the first album I really listened to for a long time. But I don't think he did give me the other albums. I think I got them myself through probably the library, or a different library, then copied it.
So he didn't mind you hearing all the bad language and all the talk of sex and
Oh God, no,
all
no,
that
that
sort
was
of
never.
stuff and incest and
Yeah, good point
anything
actually.
goes really in South Wales, yeah.
Yeah, we're used to all that sort of thing. My brothers, my mother, and all that. That's that's an interesting point though, because I don't remember that ever being an issue. But
Okay.
now I have children. I've got an 11-year-old and a nearly 9-year-old, and they're into the Pixies.
Okay.
Not as much as me, but they are definitely forced on them as much as I can.
So they
But
go around the house shouting you're the son of a motherfucker and stuff like that, do they?
But I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't actually mind, because they do say to me like, "Oh, Mum, but they're swearing in that," and I'm like, "Yeah, but it's music. It's you're not going to go and tell your teacher to fuck off, are you? But if you're singing a
Hopefully
song,
not, no.
I hope not. They're pretty good kids, but yeah, to me, if they're swearing in music, so what? There's worse things in life than a bit.
Oh no,
Sweary.
absolutely. No.
As long as they say please and thank you,
Yeah.
those are, that's more important to me than if they say the odd bugger or fuck.
Yeah. Teacher, please can I say something? Yeah. You're the son of a motherfucker.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. I'd love to see that. I'd probably be cheering at the back, and they would go on then.
That's my boy. Yeah.
Oh, dear me.
So as an 11-year-old then, so you were introduced to Surfer Rosa and Come on Pilgrim. But like you say, they'd already split up at that point. So did you then consciously sort of listen to other music of theirs, or was it a few years before you sort of, I don't know, started buying your own music, or did your dad have the later albums and that after that?
I did. I went on to get the rest of their albums myself, but it never occurred to me even to look for any solo stuff until I was 18 years old.
Okay.
And a new friend of mine said, "Oh, you like the Pixies? Do you like Frank Black's solo stuff?" And I literally went, "Does he have solo stuff?" I never knew. So it just hadn't occurred to me to look, even for some reason.
Yeah.
So then he gave me a cassette tape, because this is how old I am. It was a cassette tape of...
You're younger than me. That's all you need to know.
I'm younger than my husband, so that keeps me... That'll be good forever.
Yeah.
He's always going to be older than me, so that's fine.
Okay, so before we go on to the solo career, what can't speak. What would be a favourite track then for Pixies? Yeah.
Okay. Caribou. Number
Caribou.
one. Always
Again.
and forever.
Very popular choice.
Is it?
Well, yeah, it is.
What is it about that song? I don't know. I think it's just the tone of his voice and that just like a sense of yearning in it that I get from it, and just that image of freedom, and I just love that song. Always have done. And I love to sing along as well. I can't sing, but I always do sing. So.
Oh, that shouldn't stop you. Doesn't stop me.
No, me, not at all.
Jordan tries to stop me, but she doesn't succeed.
Yeah, my kids cry at me, "Mum, please stop singing."
My dad used to ask me if I had a stomachache or something like that when I used to sing as a youngster. Thought he was very funny. So I think that brings Caribou level now with Gouge Away.
Oh, right.
As people's favourite Pixies choice.
Oh, Gouge Away.
And actually, this is my second interview of the day, and it's also, I've just spoken to Raymond Kouters in the Netherlands, and his choice was Caribou as well.
Hey,
so there you go. It's the track of the day as well.
Awesome.
But no, it is a great track, certainly. And so you like shouting "repent" around the house and that, then?
Yes.
When your children are swearing, you tell them to repent.
Yeah, very loudly. Gives them a bit of a shock and shuts them up for a minute.
And what would be your favourite Pixies album?
That's a tough one, isn't it? I am team I'm sometimes team bossa nova, but more likely to be team Surf Rosa.
Okay.
One Pilgrim.
Right. Not
Because I
Doolittle
think
then.
just because it's the nostalgia effect of it. I think whenever I listen to it, it brings me back to my teenage years.
Yeah.
All of them encompassed in one kind of sound bubble. Like all those years are in there. Like it's lived with. It's been my soundtrack to my whole life. That album. So how can you not love it? You know, it's full of memories and emotions and feelings. And every time you listen to it, it's just like listening to my life.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. So yeah.
So your friend then said, "How about Frank Black?"
Yeah.
And you were a bit surprised, didn't realise that he'd recorded anything.
No idea. And this was probably, what would this have been, 1999? So he probably had quite a bit out by that point.
Yeah, he certainly did. Yeah, I've still got to catch up with some of it. So
yeah, same actually.
So tell me about his solo career and highlights of it.
Okay, well, I know very little, to be honest.
Okay.
I did love Teenage with You when I heard it, and I was like, oh, what is this magic?
Yeah.
And I had it on tape. And I listened to it all the time back then. And then a couple of years later, I discovered Frank Black and the Catholics by Dog in the Sand.
Okay.
So, but that's
a favourite track from Teenager of the Year then?
Probably I've got to admit something here. I don't know the titles to songs, any songs.
Okay.
I never ever look. I just listen.
Well, you'll just have to sing it to me then.
Okay, so it's that one where he has a very bad headache.
What, the one called Headache?
That'll be it then. See, I should have guessed that, but no, sorry. Headache, there we are.
It's Headache, yeah. Okay.
That's hilarious.
The one where he has a very bad headache. Brilliant. And that is the most popular Frank Black chosen track as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So you're in good company there. Actually, it's all, strangely enough, it's been all women who've chosen Headache.
Oh, right. I wonder why. Maybe we can relate to having a very bad headache.
I don't think we want to go down that track. This is a family show, Seren.
I could see where that was going then.
Quite. Okay. So, but also I believe you're quite a Breeders fan as well. So obviously, Kim went off and did her thing with Breeders. I mean, obviously Breeders existed anyway beforehand, but she went off to concentrate on that. So I think you're quite a big Breeders fan.
I'm not as big as a Pixies fan, obviously.
Okay.
It seems to me that you've got the Pixies, and then when you take out the Breeders and Frank Black solo, you can kind of hear how they fit together in the Pixies, haven't you? And I prefer that kind of sound. I think that I prefer that, the hard edgier sound, which I feel the Breeders has. I mean, obviously Cannonball is a classic, but I really liked their new album, which came out a couple of years ago, which I've completely forgotten what it's called.
Yeah, I've forgotten what it's called as well. I never actually got around to downloading it in the end. But is it good? Is it, you recommend it?
Yeah. I heard lots of kind of mixed reviews on it, but I loved it. I really liked it.
She still divides opinion, doesn't she, amongst diehard Pixies fans?
Absolutely.
Kim, bless her.
Yeah.
But as I keep repeating myself, without Kim, the Pixies wouldn't have the sound that they have. No. So even to this day, which is why Paz is so important to the band. So.
Oh, I love Paz. I absolutely love. Paz. I know. How could you not? She's awesome, isn't she? Yeah, and she's such a good fit, because I know they had they tried out a few bass players, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Kim Shattuck didn't work out, unfortunately, and obviously sadly died as well. So, which was very, very sad. But that didn't work out for her in the band. But no, Paz certainly just seems to be a natural fit.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
yeah. And it's funny, I had a Pixie Epiphany the other day as well.
Pixie Epiphany?
Pixie Epiphany.
Good Lord. I think that's a first for this podcast. Tell me all about your Pixie Epiphany.
I was in the car. Well, all your great epiphanies usually happen for me. Anyway.
I'm usually in a car park somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the car park barges. They're great. But yeah, my Pixie Epiphany, because there's always a big divide between the old Pixies and their newer stuff, isn't there? Yeah. And although I tend to keep quite quiet about it, I was definitely absolutely adored their old stuff, not too fussed on the new stuff. When I first got a head carrier, when I first listened to it, I literally wanted to throw the disc out the window because I was like, no,
Oh
it's
no!
not what they wanted. But we
Okay.
were going to see them, we bought the tickets to go and see them. So I was like, I know they're going to play loads. I
Yeah.
expect at the time that they'd play all new stuff and hardly any old stuff, which I'm really glad was actually the other way around, which was amazing. But after lots of listens, it grew on me. So I liked Head Carrier, but then Beneath the Eyrie, when that first came out, when I first listened to it, and I was like, oh, yes, I love it. It's completely different to their old stuff. But, hey, that's cool, isn't it? You can't expect a band to stay the same. Life doesn't stay the same. They don't stay the same. Yeah. So I really liked it. And, first few months I listened to it loads. And then as I do with all new music, I get really obsessed. And then it goes into the pile. And then the other, the pile gets bigger and there's other stuff to listen to. And the other day, I put it on again for the first time in a couple of months, and it came on. I was singing along, and it suddenly hit me. It was giving me that same sense of joy, that fierce joy, and just love that I had for the old albums. And I suddenly thought, oh my God, this is now for me. Finally, this album is absolutely on a par with their older stuff in a different way. Still different, but I love it just as much. And it was such a great feeling, like that someone you love so much is still you still love them.
Still a big part of your life. No, absolutely. So what about t-shirts and things like that and merchandise and that? Are you into all that sort of stuff?
I absolutely love the Facebook group t-shirt competition. I think it's such a wonderful idea, and I love all the designs. I just think it's brilliant. And finally, I have my favorite one is the wave one.
Helen Paulet. I always stumble on her name. I do apologize, Helen. Helen Paulet. Let's get it right.
That was hers.
Yes, yeah.
So that is my favorite.
I stood next to her once,
Oh, exciting.
At a Pixies concert at the Roundhouse. Yeah.
Did she see you? Did she say
she spoke to me, yeah.
Oh, exciting.
She was with a friend of hers, I think, from memory. So it's one of those sort of strange, you're suddenly all meeting up together, just people that you'd spoken to on Facebook and stuff like that. And there was about a dozen of us, and all organised by the lovely Adele, who got me down the front.
Amazing.
So, looking after me, bless her. So but no, I'm not really into. I'm not big on band t-shirts and things like that. I don't know why. I did used to have a few, but no, I do like the Helen Paulet one. It's a lovely t-shirt. So if anyone wants to send me one, extra large, that's fine. Just message me. I'll send you my address. Thanks.
Fab. Post it up on the group.
So, but do you have any Pixies t-shirts yourself?
So I've only got that one at the moment.
You've only got that one. Okay.
But I don't like the kind of ones you can buy in the gigs. But I love the ones that no one else will have, unless you're in a very, small and select group of awesome people.
Talking about clothing, I've got to talk to you about a bright red dress, which you have been seen in on the BBC several times. Would you like to explain?
I had no idea that existed. I had no idea. I'd never seen myself on the telly until this year when I suddenly received a couple of screenshots and a lot of messages going, I just seen you on the telly. But that was from PJ Harvey in Glastonbury 2004, I believe it was. And she is my other big love.
Okay.
Pixies and PJ Harvey are up there. I got into her when I was 12. So only a year after the Pixies, and again, she's my other big love. So that was my one and only time I've seen her as well. I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for a ticket to get into Glastonbury.
That's okay. I've only ever been to Glastonbury once, which was 1989, which you probably weren't even born then.
No, I was probably there as a kid.
Okay. So I actually saw Pixies. That was the first time I saw Pixies. I went for one day because I had flu. I had a temperature of over 100. And I saw the Wonder Stuff and Pixies on the same day, and then I just slept in the tent for the rest of the day, and then we went home the following day because I was just so ill.
God.
It was horrendous, but I saw Wonder Stuff and Pixies, so that was good. There was a heat wave as well that year as well. It was like over 100 Fahrenheit. It was just ridiculous.
And you were as well, and
and there was a rave. There was a rave in the field next to us as well, so I didn't sleep all night.
Anyway,
So
it was great, but it was better back then.
It's probably a lot cheaper as well. I've
Yeah.
no idea how much we would have paid for a ticket, but
well, that year that I went, I think the tickets were selling, at face value for about 110 quid or something like that.
That's a lot more than that now as well.
Well, that's the thing, is that they get bought up and then resold, don't they?
Yeah, that's right.
So I did pay. I could have had a nice holiday for what I paid for that.
Well, you want to get onto the BBC because they keep showing that image every time Glastonbury comes round every year. There you are. I think you've got your arm up in the air, or maybe both arms up in the air. I forget now.
I'm on someone's shoulders as
yeah,
well.
You are. Yeah, in a bright red dress, and you had very quite blonde hair then as well. I think. Yeah. And again, you just look so happy, like you do now. Just that lovely big smile of yours, and having the time of your life by the look of it.
I was so excited. I think I probably did a little cry because I was like, it's PJ Harvey. But in my memory, I was like, I had a little chat with her, and I remember being like, wah, and I said, she was like, I kept going, Sheila in a gig, because that was my favourite song.
Yeah.
And I think at one point she looked at it and she went, oh, nice dress. And I think I went, I love you. And then I went, Sheila in a gig again. And she went, nah, nah, nah. And like, I have this clear memory, because, I kept shouting at that too.
Yeah.
And like, that is such a clear memory. And but we did watch it this year when I was alerted to the fact it was on. And none of that happened. There was none of that, and I'm devastated because I always have thought like, oh, I spoke to PJ Harvey.
You'd convinced yourself that you had, and
I made it all up in my head. I was a bit, having a fun party, shall we say, at the time. So it might, there might have been other reasons why I imagined things.
Okay, all right. We won't delve into that any further.
No, we'll leave that one there.
So have you been to many Glastonbury festivals then? Or is that just the one?
Loads as a kid. I always went.
Oh, you said, yeah.
Oh, it was awesome. It was so much fun as a kid. It was great up in the green fields. We didn't see much music. I think I saw when I was a kid. I think we saw Rolf Harris.
Okay, interesting.
Which at the time was fun.
At the time was fine, yeah. I mean, I've been to a Gary Glitter concert as well when I was a kid, so and I've lived to tell the tale. So
yeah, exactly. So that was fun, and but no, up in the green fields, you've got all the performing arts, and I'm always amazed how not famous Glastonbury is, because to me it's like the biggest and best festival in the world, and I've gone travelling, I've been like, oh yeah, I've been to Glastonbury, and people are like, what's Glastonbury? I think, how can you not know what Glastonbury is?
I know, because it's it's iconic in this country, isn't it? To us, so.
It's Woodstock. It's the British Woodstock, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's, lasted longer, and it started at the same time.
So do you try and go every year, and take your kids as well? Or?
I think that was the last time I went, 2000.
Oh, was it?
Because it's just so expensive,
and it's massive now as well.
It's enormous. The atmosphere has changed. Before it used to be like, you'd have certain types of people going, and now it's just not the same. But we go to smaller festivals, like we went to the Green Gathering last year, which is awesome, but that's like much smaller, and there's you've got your naked hippies wandering around, and it's all about
everyone loves a naked hippie.
The kids were certainly very interested.
I'm sure they were, yeah.
And you've got someone dressed up as Donald Trump, and they were like chucking wet sponges at him, so they thought that was awesome. And I like the little festivals, much more fun.
Yeah, a lot more sociable, I think, aren't they? Certainly.
Yeah.
So tell me about the music scene in Wales then. Who should we be looking out for? Any new bands that are coming up? Or bands that have been with you throughout your life, Welsh bands that you enjoy?
I can't think of any, to be honest with you. I mean, you've got like Super Furry Animals, Griffith Jones, and there's some like Welsh music artists. But they're like it's like local stuff I like, rather than I can't really think of any well-known.
Mannix fan?
Oh no, but I'll have to listen.
You're not a Manic Street Preachers fan?
Not really, no. I really like them very much. I know, I'm sorry. I'm not very patriotic like that, music-wise.
So well.
But local music, I'm a big fan. Oh, well, everybody's going to love a bit of Tom Jones over there.
No.
No?
Can't stand him.
Oh, really?
Drives me bad.
Oh. I like
it's not unusual.
Nice.
Sorry.
I like that one.
So where were we? The Catholics then. So you've got Dog in the Sand.
Yes. Yeah.
And do you have a favourite track of Dog in the Sand?
Do you know, it's been so long since I listened to that album. I can't. If I put it on now, if I put the album on now, I could sing along to every song, but trying to remember them without listening to it is, I can't remember any.
Do you want me to get the track listing up for you?
Oh, go on then.
See if it will jog any mememories for you.
No, I don't know titles. I'm really bad at titles.
Well, there is one called Dog in the Sand on Dog in the Sand.
Don't remember that one.
Right, so there's Blast Off.
Oh yes.
I've seen your picture, chosen by Dusty.
Yeah.
St. Francis Dam Disaster, that's a popular one. Robert Onion, Stupid Me.
Oh, Robert Onion. Yes, that was my favourite.
That's your favourite, is it? Robert
Yeah,
Onion.
that's
Right.
the one.
Okay, that's going on the spreadsheet. I think that's the first,
else?
actually. I
Really?
don't remember anyone else choosing Robert Onion. It will come up. No, nobody else has chosen that, so that's the first for you on that one.
Yes, that's good. I like that.
Okay. So you've chosen Caribou, Headache, and Robert Onion.
Yes.
Cool. So, what ages are your children? They're probably all very young and
11,
not really.
11 and nearly 9. They are.
11 and 9.
Yeah, nearly 9.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Next month, 9 next month. Well, she
Right.
likes to remind me every day.
So are they getting into music now then?
Yes. Well, you know, they've always grown up with music. I've got loads of music and.
Well, yeah, the sweary Pixie stuff and that.
Yeah. So when they were younger, and I've got a brilliant video of Lucas, age about 3, and Piper, who was probably about 1, or not even 1 at the time, a baby. And
Yeah.
it's the first song on PJ Harvey, Rid of Me.
Oh yeah, I know.
And there's the bit at the end, and she's singing never, 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 and Lucas is there going never, 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 and Piper just looks around and starts crying in her eyes. Scared by it. So I was always quite proud, like, oh, my children listen to very good music. And then of course they get older and they start getting into having their own taste in music. I was gutted then. Currently, Lucas went into full-on heavy metal mode. That was fab. I liked that.
That always happens around about that age. I did the same around about 12.
Teenage angst.
For about a year. Yeah.
He got into that, but now his current love is oh God, what's his name now? That rapper. Oh, it's just completely gone out of my head. It was there a minute. You know that song? It's Slim Shady.
Right. Yeah.
That one, the real Slim Shady.
So yeah.
He likes that, and he likes. He's really into manga, so he likes kind of Japanesey,
cool
manga style songs. So that's something I've got no knowledge of at all. So I'm like, okay, but you know,
not yet anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. Yeah, but in the car we listen to the Pixies, and they've both been getting really into Beneath the Erie with me the past couple
cool.
as well. So that is like a permanent fixture in the stereo in the car.
Yeah,
and, you know, they've got their feet like my daughter's favourite is Catfish Kate.
Okay.
Me and Lucas love On Graveyard Hill and Silver Bullet, which is probably my favourite. And the one after that, which I don't know the name of, but I can sing all the words. What's that? Desiree.
Yeah. And what about your husband? He still likes the band as well?
Oh yeah, he's a Pixies fan, but not quite as diehard a Pixies fan as I am, I'd say.
Right.
But his favourite bands are Fugazi and Sonic Youth. So
okay.
That's kind of the way he goes.
That's weird because Raymond Kutas, who I just said I was spoken to this morning, he said about Fugazi as well. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're awesome. They are awesome. So I'm not surprised. That's the nice thing about this the group, isn't it? Is that we've all got excellent taste in music, but we all can share as well. Yeah. So, you know, I love to go like, oh, you know, anyone else? I think I posted a thing about Fontaine's DC.
Yes.
Was it you who replied?
No.
Someone I posted up and I was like, anybody like these? And someone was like, yes, love them. So
I think Pete likes them. I think
that's who it was who replied.
Yeah, I think it was Peter. Yeah, no, I did see that actually. I need to sort of listen to more of their stuff. I've only listened to a couple of their records, and that was about sort of 6 months or so ago. But,
they've only just released their second, and it's
okay. What about Idols? Are you into Idols?
I know. That's the funny thing, is that it's such a big, you know, Pixies and Idols, you know, is the two bands talked about on the group. And every time a song comes on the radio, and I'm like, oh, I love that song. Who's that? Oh, it's the Idols. But I still haven't bought an album. For some reason,
I can't get into them yet. So
no.
that's because I'm a grumpy middle-aged man. So I like what I know, and I know what I like. So.
But that's the great thing about the group, is that we have such similar tastes in music, but yet within that we still all have our own unique taste in music. But I've never seen anyone slag anyone off for liking something. It's
no.
type of group, is it?
And if they do that, they're very discreetly dealt with by Pixie White and her moderators. So or admin rather. Yeah. So we don't tolerate dissent. So.
Absolutely not. Although we enjoy talking about it in other forums.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And if anyone mentions Nickelback in a positive light, then that's it.
They're out, ejected firmly.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
It's the only rule, isn't it? No politics, no nonsense, no Nickelback. I can live with that.
So, have you heard the new Pixie single?
Yes. I just watched the video. Someone posted it up. I'm trying to remember it now. It's the one in the desert, isn't it? Is it that one?
Yeah, it's got cowboys in it.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. Yes. Again, can't remember what it's called at all. In one ear.
My mind's gone blank now. Hear me out. Hear me.
Oh.
My mind's gone completely blank.
I know. I have that effect on people.
Hear something anyway.
It's a dreadful memory. It just seems to affect everyone else. They lose their memories too.
As it's on lead vocals, I know that much.
Yes.
Yeah,
which is nice. Yeah, I liked it. I only listened to it once though, so it's not kind of stuck in there yet. So I need to give it a few more listens to get a proper feel for it. But I liked it. So first impressions were good. So is there going to be a new album to go with it?
I have no idea. I'd imagine there will be. I mean, that's what they do, isn't it? That's their job. I mean, it's clearly is Charles's job anyway. And I think the rest of the band just get dragged along with it as well. So I'm sure he's writing all sorts of stuff at the moment, particularly in lockdown and not being able to tour and stuff. They've got a lot of time on their hands, haven't they? So
yes, and there's been a few kind of hints from Paz, isn't there, about recording and stuff.
Yeah.
Exciting! I can't wait to find out.
No, it is.
Especially with Beneath. I love Beneath Theory. Was that the first one with Paz? Or was she on Head?
She was on Head Carrier. Yeah.
She did that lovely one. I really liked All I Think About Now.
Yeah,
which I loved, and I read the story behind her and really loved it. Then, things get better, I reckon.
Cool. Okay, so we're down to the final question.
Oh, okay.
Which I've already primed you on. The Joe Kirkham question. So you're in a dream and suddenly you find yourself naked on stage in front of thousands of adoring fans. No red dress. You can't hide behind your red dress. Which Pixie song are you going to sing for them?
I'd have to go with probably just Caribou.
Caribou. Okay, good choice.
Throw your arms wide and repent. Repent being stuck on stage and nothing.
Brilliant. Seren, it's been lovely speaking to you. Thank you so much for giving up your time. It's been really nice to chat with you and to hear about Pixies and just to see your sheer delight in talking about them and your passion for music and passion for life, really. So thank you very much. Would you like to say something to us in Welsh that's polite, like goodbye Pixies fans, or I love you Pixies fans, or
let me have a think. Diolch yn fawr bawb. Dwi'n canu iawn y Pixies a Cymru am beth. Will that do?
I know the last bit was something about Wales, wasn't it? Wales forever or something like that, wasn't it? Yeah. What was it? What was all the rest of it that preceded that?
I just said thanks very much, everyone, and I really love the Pixies and Wales forever. I do know more Welsh than that, but right. when you're asked to say something in Welsh, it's like
I know it was a bit mean of me. I do apologise.
That's all right.
Seren, lovely to talk to you. Thank you so much for your time, and hopefully we'll get to meet up at some stage.
Fab.
You take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.